Hello everyone, Momo-Dog here again. Today I wanted to talk about an observation I made while watching a few other Devil Jin players that I think is very important to talk about because, to get right to the point, heat is a very essential resource in this game. It's not only a comeback tool, in fact I don't even think it's a comeback tool at all unless you use it very correctly. You need to be able to use your heat properly. I've watched a few Devil Jin players that were at lower ranks, and what I realized is that a lot of Devil Jin players, when they're in heat, or when they enter heat after, for example, using the heat burst, immediately throw out the heat smash. Which, of course, is not a bad option, because this heat smash does hit a lot. It does connect a lot. It is homing, it has a lot of range, but in the rounds where Devil Jin players get their heat smash blocked, that's where things become very real very quickly. Because after a heat smash gets blocked, now that the shackle situation on block got changed and Warning Crow 1 is very easily walkable, you take a bigger risk, since getting walked means getting launched. And that's more detrimental than getting jab floated out of your Warning Crow 1 as it was before nerf. So what I'm trying to say is, throwing out your heat smash immediately right after entering heat is not the go-to method of using your heat. Devil Jin in heat has a lot of options. Remember how I talked about CD 1+2, 1+2 in the guide? Just this move alone offers so much value while you're in heat. Just the existence of it, because not only the chip damage is pretty scary to deal with, the move when it connects, it being homing and being a normal hit launcher also makes people respect it pretty much. So you don't really have to use your heat smash to keep your opponent in check. CD 1+2 does that job. And should they try to keep you from pressing, or should they try to keep you out from mixing them up? You can always just have your heat smash locked and loaded as a range 5 whiff punish, single button whiff punish, which is, in my opinion, a more useful move, more useful usage on the move than just throwing it out in the neutral and risking getting it blocked and having no resources available to, win the round with less effort, I'd say. Because it's a fact that if you don't have a heat bar available anymore, for example, when I deactivate it now, no heat. Seeing this on your screen, you not having a heat bar while they do, this is the worst case possible in Tekken 8 currently. Because they have every means to, either land a heat engager and get all their chip damage back, or like regenerate their gray health, or just activate heat and pressure you instead. And there's nothing you can do pretty much, because you can't really go into heat and regenerate your gray health. You can't go into heat and use your upgraded moves. You can't use your heat smash anymore. So you're at the biggest disadvantage possible. And throwing out your heat smash like that, or like not using your heat properly, means death in this game. So how do you use your heat properly? Again, while Devil Jin is heat, you always have a single button with punish locked and loaded. People will respect you automatically because they know the heat smash exists. They know that this move exists in heat. So the best thing you can do is either you go in and mix them up like you should, because they are respecting you so much, or should they try to keep you out, you can try to land a launcher as a whiff punish. For example, the electric comes into play a lot here, because you can even get a wind guard fist and it will still turn into an electric while you're in heat. Let me demonstrate. I can do the slowest wind guard fist possible, it will still turn into an electric. And getting an electric launch while you are in heat also means a boost to your combo damage. Let's say, for example, I just ducked a high, or I ducked their jab string, while they were trying to keep me out with jabs, for example, which is not an uncommon situation at all. I can improve my combo damage by doing this, for example. Getting a launcher while you're in heat also means more combo damage. And never forget that while you are in heat, you will regenerate gray health much, much faster, and you will chip them down much faster too. So if you really want to, you can keep your pressure going while you're in heat with, for example, 193, 442, and electric. These are the 3 moves you will be using by standard while you're not in heat in order to push them to the wall. And all of these 3 moves become so much stronger while you're in heat. It's so much more worth it to keep going with your usual game plan, trying to pressure them down, trying to chip them down, and then mixing them up when they respect you because of the heat smash and the electric, and CD 1+2, for example. That, again, the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, is still just randomly throwing out the heat smash, unless you know that it will connect because it's a whiff punish, for example, or you have such a huge life lead, it doesn't matter that you don't have heat anymore right after. So you might as well just risk the heat smash and either they die or they don't. For example, when I'm at 100 HP and they're at 50, it does make sense to just randomly throw out the heat smash and pray that it connects because it will kill them. But if it doesn't kill them, again, I don't think it's really worth it because as long as they have heat, they always have the option to make a huge comeback. So that was Devil Jin and heats. And again, please use your heat as optimally as possible. Don't forget that you also have the heat smash from Morning Crow. I've seen this heat smash neglected a lot while watching other Devil Jin players. This is easily one of the best heat smashes in the game when it kills. So again, always keep all of your options in mind in heat. Do not autopilot into just heat smashing and then getting it blocked and being at a very huge disadvantage. Something that I also want to quickly point out while we're talking about heat is that immediately using your heat to get high damage combos just after the round starts, for example, is also a pretty wasted use of heat in my opinion. Let's say you go for the high damage healthy staple. You know, you get 60 damage from it, which is all cool, but you lose all of your heat for this, and they have a lot of recoverable health once you're done with the combo. Which leads back to the worst case scenario that I've talked about just now. You got a 60 damage from this from your health sweep because you used both your heat burst and heat dash, but in the end, you're still the loser in the situation because they have all of their heat bar available, they have so much recoverable health, and the same goes for your high damage electric combos, for example. Using both heat burst and heat dash in one combo is not really worth it unless it kills. You need to use your heat wisely. Notice how I always say unless it kills. If something kills, it's so much more worth going for. That's my point. But there are ways around this. Let's say, for example, I get an electric combo like this. What I can do instead of using the heat dash is I can replace it with one of my heat moves, still get improved combo damage, and I'm still in heat. This is the most important part. I boost my combo damage, Devil Jin has the option to do so, and I still have half my heat bar, which is more than enough to keep my momentum going. So again, be careful how you throw out your heat, especially how you throw out the entirety of it by, for example, heat burst and heat dashing or using your heat smash, because the more you learn how to use your heat properly, the more rounds you will win. I can guarantee you. Good usage of heat will net you a lot of round wins. Momo out. I hope you will use your heat more optimally from now on.